Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. It's Kira and today I'm going to be doing a story time. So I haven't done a story time in a long time. I think it's been at least 6 months, probably more. But I just thought I would do a nice sit down story time video today because I've been doing a lot of vlogs and I feel like we need a little bit of a break from that. So today I'm going to be telling you guys the story of when I felt I was about to be kidnapped or murdered, it could have really went either way. But the whole situation was just very uncomfortable for me and I was very scared. But anyways, let's get into this story. So to get to school every day, I take either one public bus that is designated to our school, or I can take 2 different buses with going to a bus station in between to switch buses. So on this day, I decided that I wanted to go into school a little bit later because I have 2 morning spares, so I have the option to do that. So it was around 10 a.m. and I was like, okay, I'm going to take the 2 buses because the one bus that is designated for our school is super packed and it only comes at one time, 8:30, 35-ish every day. So I was like, I'm going to take the 2 buses. And I can leave at 10 a.m. So that's exactly what I did. I left at 10 a.m. I caught the first bus. It was totally fine. It was a beautiful day, honestly. The sun shining, the wind was not blowing, and it was just nice. But anyways, so I get on the first bus for my trip, and it's nice. It's not that crowded. I got a seat. I could sit down. It was great. I get to the bus station and then I just wait there. This bus station I've been to many times before. I've even vlogged there. And it's basically a long bus station. And there are 2 glass bus shelters that you guys probably seen in the background. It has red borders and it's all glass. And there's 2 of those. And at each of those, 3 or 4 buses go to each one of those. And they all go to different places. It's a main bus station. But yeah, so I've been to this bus station many times. I've seen all kinds of people there. There's sometimes homeless people there. There's sometimes some rougher looking people there. There's sometimes business men and women there, sophisticated people. Any kind of person has been there. And I've seen them. Many students as well. But yeah, so, you never know what experiences you're going to get there, because sometimes, one time I was there with my friend and we got yelled at by someone who I would assume was on drugs because she was very aggressive towards us and yelling at us when all we were doing was crossing the street. We didn't even look at her and she was very offended. Don't know why. Luckily for us, there was a bystander there that kind of stepped in and was don't yell at these 2 girls, they're not doing anything to you. And so I'm thankful for that man, but moral of that, there are some interesting people at this place. So you never know what you're gonna get. But today, when I went there, there was it was basically a ghost town, which was really weird because I've never been there where there was no one or 1 or 2 people. So I was like, uh-oh, I sense something bad's gonna happen. But anyways, I go and I stand inside in the corner of one of the glass bus shelters, like I always do. I always stand in that one spot. So I was just standing there waiting for my bus, Then all of a sudden, this man walks up. I don't think anything of it. This is a bus station. People are gonna come and go, It's fine. But the thing that didn't sit right with me was the way this man looked at me as he walked past the glass bus shelter. And it was weird because he came up from the parking lot, walked past, looked at me, stared at me, and then went back into the parking lot through a different exit. It was very weird. I was like, okay, that's a little bit weird, but it's fine. He didn't say anything. He didn't do anything. I'm fine. So then I keep waiting for my bus. I'm looking down the road where the buses come from, and I'm just waiting, waiting, waiting. More people are coming, buses are coming, going, normal things. Then this man comes back and he approaches me and he's like, "Hi, do you know where these buses go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this number bus goes here, this number bus goes here." I'm like reading him the sign while I'm pointing at the sign to him. And this is like an older guy, like beard, like dressed kind of rough, you could say. And then he was like, "Oh." And then he kind of like paused, stared at me a little bit, and I was like kind of uncomfortable. I was kind of like moving more into the bus shelter because he was standing at the entrance and I was like in the corner. And so I was like slowly moving over because I felt uncomfortable. He was just like looking at me. And then he was like, "So which bus are you taking?" And I was like, that doesn't matter. And then he was like, and I'm gonna get killed. I was like, what is he about to do? Like, did I just offend him now? Because, like, some people can have, like, quick flips to, like, aggression and anger, and I was just like, so I, like, take a bigger step to the side, and I'm just kind of, like, like, get away from me, because I was very scared. That look was scary. Keep in mind, I have, like, a mask on, because I don't trust people on public transit, so I'm like, I'm not trying to catch any sickness from any of you. COVID, the flu, strep, whatever y'all got, I don't want it. So I wear a mask. And he was just kind of looking at me, and I was like, and he was still looking at me. It's like, it's been like a minute. So I'm like, have a good day. And I just kind of like leave. I walk down and exit the other side of glass shelter because there's like a door, not a door, but like an opening on either side. So I like kind of go stand outside. And then he just like continues standing there, but now he like turns to face the road again. And then I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is this man plotting something? Like, I'm really scared. Why does he want to know where I'm going? If I get on a bus, is he gonna like get on the bus with me and follow me? Like, my head was spiraling. I was really scared. And then he walks over to me again, and I'm like, oh my god. But now there's like more people around, so I'm like, okay, at least there's bystanders. If something happens to me, they'll film it or they'll help me. I'll be fine. Like, it's okay. So I'm like a little bit more calm that there's like people around now. But then he comes up to me again, and I'm like, and he's like, "Do you have any money?" And I said, "No." I did have money, but I'm not gonna give it to you. That's my vending machine fund for my snacks. I'm not giving you, creepy man, some money. No, thank you. I was like, "No, sorry." I'm still being nice to this man because I'm not trying to get him to be angry and like try and kill me. So I'm just like, "No, sorry." And he walks away and he goes, "Ugh, these teenagers never have cash anymore." I'm like, you could have kept that thought in your head, but okay. And then finally, my bus comes. It's like 10 minutes late at this point. I could have avoided this whole interaction. But yeah, so finally my bus comes. I get on it. He does not get on it. And I get to school, and everything else went good for that day. But since then, I have not went back to this bus station to get to school. I've always just taken the like designated bus to our school because I am so scared. No, I'm not scared. I just don't like interactions with strangers. I've had people ask me there before, like, where buses were going. Like, that's completely normal, and I understand. I also had one girl come up to me, and she was like, "I just got out of eye surgery. I'm so sorry to bother you, but can you read this for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's totally fine." But I don't like stranger interactions. I really don't. Stranger danger. I live by that. But yeah, so some questionable things happen at that place as well. A few times when me and my friends have been there, there's been some man kind of like look us up and down, and it's like, don't sexualize teenagers, please. Don't do that. So yes, and there's all these stories about people getting abducted, stabbed at bus stations. So I'm just like on high alert always. And maybe I'm a little bit paranoid, but you gotta stay safe. You gotta do everything you can to try and stay safe at all times. But anyways, I hope you guys had a little bit of a laugh at that story. Maybe not a laugh. Maybe just entertained by that story. And maybe you guys can relate as well, because I know that there are a lot of creepy men and women. Women can be creepy too at bus stations. But hopefully you guys have never had a big issue. Anyways, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me if you want to see more story times or more vlogs, or what kind of videos you guys would like to see in the future. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!